Welcome back. Today is FOMC and we should expect a lot of volatility around Powell's speech tonight. Not specifically the rate cuts, but the speech is where we need to pay attention to, and I will show you what the most likely outcome is in this video. So if you think that's interesting, then let's go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Wednesday here once again. I will jump directly into the charts because things are a little bit crazy right now in Kiev. So without any further ado, today we're going to get a rate cut decision in a little bit more than 2 hours. We can basically say a little bit less until you see that video. The outcome hasn't really changed yet from 97.7% for no rate cut to 2.3% for a rate cut. Technically, it can still happen that we get a surprise and we actually get a rate cut, but the chances are, as you can see here, minuscule. But the more important thing is that if Powell comes out and said, okay, we don't cut this month, but things are looking really optimistic for next month, that could still propel the markets into higher levels for us. And that is something that we need to talk about. Either if he comes out dovish or dovish for us. So and especially when we also look at next month, also here the chances of a rate cut have decreased from last time when we were looking at this, because here we had over a 40% chance the last time we looked at this. Now it's 27.8% for a June rate cut. Don't know how things are looking for July. There it looks a little bit better, but we should focus on next month and what Powell is saying in today's speech regarding next month. When we're looking at the DXY looks like that that we are anticipating some dovishness of Powell later, because we're about to break this bearish rising wedge pattern here to the downside today. This can of course still shift depending on what happens in 2 hours, and we could get here a move back to the upside to like 100 points. Again, breaking that resistance up here is highly unlikely. We could get a wick up there, but by tomorrow I would expect that we come back down. So now when it comes to the CME futures gap, that is technically closed. I don't know why we did not get a candle here, because that is from today. We should have gotten here a candle. So I think that is just a problem with the chart layout, that this is not properly shown here. So, and after we hit now here the top, we are basically getting rejected from there. Also not a big surprise. There is a key resistance level for Bitcoin up there, and only a really positive outcome in the next coming hours from the US could shift that and push us into the direction of $100,000. When we're looking here at the daily chart with the line chart, then here we got a really nice kind of bounce from the EMA ribbon. But I would still not rule out that we would come properly down to touch that at around $93,000 currently, and then continue to go higher. So again, if we are breaking here this major resistance level that we're currently at, things can change really quickly in our favor, but until then we need to sit and wait on our hands and also not go crazy with trades right now. When we're looking at the overall market structure, so here we are still following the overall trajectory, and we are still here in the process of creating that potentially local higher high and then get a higher low. And this makes, in my opinion, still a lot of sense, because we just got here a bullish crossover on the stochastic RSI. The MACD is about to bounce, and the RSI is going sideways again because of that resistance level that we are currently trading, directly trading under. So if we get here a move into $100,000, I believe that this will be a rejection, because we haven't been there for a really, really long time. So if we go back here, the last time we touched that over 2.5 months ago, the $100,000 level. So I would not expect that we blast straight through that, but rather get a rejection, come down here somewhat into the green box where we have our higher low, and then it's time for liftoff and going past the $100,000 level here once again. Also here with the parallel channel on the daily chart, where we expect our golden cross anytime soon, we're here seeing again a lot of confluence along that downward sloping trend line here that is acting currently as a major resistance. So again, if we blast through that, it will be a deviation. In my opinion, we come back down, go all the way, the worst case scenario down to the 200 moving average, touch that, and then turn around for higher prices. I find it highly unlikely that we will come down to the 50 or even here to the mid-range of that trading range that we are currently in, because we are trying already to break out, which is, in my opinion, a really bullish indicator that bulls are trying to to regain control here over price action and get past the psychological level of $100,000. On the 4-hourly chart with the MDX algo scalp gradients, also here, I want to show you again one more time that there is confluence why we get rejected, and that is the golden ratio here, the 1.618, the extended level, and the 1.5 level. We came into that level here a couple hours ago. I want to remind you here once again, this was a take profit level, guys. So you can still take profit, take profit here a little bit if you were in the overall trade setup that we had given here, because we have here 1 week, 2 weeks, and now we start to break down here. So it is definitely time to take some money off the plate here and to prepare in that, in the worst case, that we come back down to $95,700. There is where I would set my stop loss right now, and then re-enter if we just bounce, you know. So because you now take some money off the table, and then you can compound it if you get stopped out, and potentially even go in back in at a lower level if we would go all the way back down to 95, and then trade the bounce to the upside, break through the golden ratio, and continue here into the psychological resistance. If we, for a surprise, break above $97,580 and get at least a 30-minute or a 1-hourly candle close above that, that is where I would add more to that position. You can also just ride it, that's totally up to you. But that would be, for me, where I would definitely add to my position in direction here of the $101,000 mark. The reactor indicator is also showing us that there is still more upside. We are not red yet. Look over here. That's exactly what we are waiting for. That did not happen yet, so that still has to happen, which could get us here all the way up. But if not, then there is also the possibility that we just roll over, and from there then bounce and get the upswing that we are looking for. The on ZoomX here with my overall trade setup, you see I'm up now $1,900. I have set a stop loss at 96,200 just in case that we come down there, and even lower, that I can add on lower levels and compound again my profits here. So I would go out with $1,500 approximately, and currently the $96,200 level is a support level, but because we just created that recently, it might not hold, and we come either all the way down to the bottom of it or create a deviation below that, then turn around and go higher. So, and on that deviation, that would be the moment where I would then re-enter. It will be a little bit higher than my current entry price, but I would be absolutely fine with that because I would have a bigger position. If you want to trade with me on ZoomX, guys, we have still the lucky draw going on here with the Formula 1. So take advantage of that on the lucky draw. Every single day you can take part in a lucky draw and get multiple tickets for the lucky draw to get a 3-day Formula 1 VIP ticket to Monaco, a paddock pass, or just some merch signed by the drivers, and also here a garage tour is possible. So all this together is worth around $50,000. If you get the 3-day F1 VIP ticket, don't forget flights, hotel, everything is included. That alone is worth $20,000. The F1 paddock pass is alone $20,000 worth, plus the flight and the hotel, so it's around $40,000 depending from where you're coming from, because you should not forget this is at least a business class flight round trip that you get. And you can of course you also win some crypto, and every time when you spin, you're definitely gonna win something. So use the link in the pinned comment below and in the description to sign up on ZoomX and take part in that lucky draw. So when we go back to Bitcoin, to the liquidation levels, I have finally the chart again, so you can clearly see that we have taken out the high leveraged short liquidity that was sitting up here all the way up to $98,000. That is all gone now. So, and below us, we have also not much long liquidity from $92,700 to $94,200, but it is technically a target for a market maker to come down here and then reverse it back to the upside. If you're up, if you're in that overall trading setup, so you're also fine. But again, set stop losses accordingly, as I just mentioned earlier. So when we go into the liquidation heat map, you see a $98,000 is a big resistance because we have here concentrated liquidity. If we push through that, we should get a short squeeze at least to like close to $100,000. On the way down, I don't believe that we're touching a $93,000, but everything that we have built up down here, all the way down to like $95,700 could be taken out in the volatility that we are expecting around FOMC in less than 2 hours. When we're going then into the Bitcoin dominance is raging here to the upside into that massive resistance level. I just want to show it to you guys here a little bit more to the left. This time, even if we would come a little bit higher and go through it, I believe that this will be just a deviation and a lower high compared to that high here, and then we finally roll over and break to the downside. The total free market cap still ranging here, so nothing has really changed, and that we are forming here. Oh, let me get here again the drawing tool. A rounding top is also not really good unless we start to bounce here in the next coming days and complete this inverse head and shoulders pattern that I was talking about a couple of days ago. Now, if you want to trade altcoins, guys, don't forget on Bybit you still get a $500 free $500 position airdrop absolutely for free, just for signing up with the link in the pinned comment below and the link in the in the description. That's what I want to say, in the description. You can also get a Bybit card if you're eligible. Again, I spent all, like basically everything, restaurants, hotels, flights, whatever you can think about, parties, everything I spent with my Bybit card, spent straight crypto, no bank account, nobody can block it unless Bybit does it, and that's just amazing, you know, so make use of that. There's so many good things on Bybit right now going on. There is a link, like I said, in the pinned comment and in the description if you want to take advantage of that. So now Ethereum is still trading in that symmetrical triangle, but we are getting closer here to a potential breakout. I want to draw this in here again, the breakout window, so which is kind of here and then all the way up over here. So we have until Saturday to break out of this convincingly. We are right now bouncing off the POC, the point of control on the VPVR. Again, this is the longest bar on the VPVR with the most traded history. That is most likely as of now acting as support, but if we break through that at any given moment and close the 4-hourly candle below that, it will act again as resistance, and we're going to struggle again to get above that. As long as we are sitting above that, we should expect to move at least to $1,916, and from there we have to reassess the situation. But of course the overall target for that symmetrical triangle, if we would break out here, is around the $2,000 mark, you know. So and you should be massively up if you actually caught a trade from all the way down here. If not, remember, once we get properly above the VPVR, there is your second chance to get in that trade setup overall. Then Solana still in this falling, broadening wedge here on the 4-hourly chart. Here we are right now moving again to the downside. So if you missed the overall trading setup, you get here another chance to enter. You see the stop loss is more than broad enough to not get stopped out here with these wicks that we already experienced. And I believe the next time that we come up here to the top of the range on the downward sloping trend line, that Solana actually will break out to the upside in direction of $160 and $170. So because the higher time frames, they're definitely showing us that we are ready for the next leg to the upside. It is a question of days, in my opinion, before we see here a massive pump on the chart. So here on the on this daily chart, we are also still in that handle of that cup and handle pattern, or in that falling wedge, however you want to see that. And here you see the stochastic just gave a buy signal. The RSI is turning down. The MACD is still, in my opinion, in a fake out phase unless this is broadening up and the candles are getting bigger. So here again, a little bit of patience, but also at the same time we are still above the EMA ribbon that has just flipped bullish, which is also an indication that there should be some support to hold us above at least $144. Then Ondo, we spoke about Ondo. Ondo broke briefly out of the falling wedge pattern. Maybe I need to adjust this here just a little bit. Yeah, so now we did not break out yet. So, but the breakout is also pretty close here. Once we are breaking out, can get into that. Just wait here again for at least a 1-hourly candle breaking above the 87.7 level. Only then I would enter that, not before, because the indicators are clearly setting up for a major push. Then Link is has broken out of that downwards trending channel here. We are retesting it currently, but on the 4-hourly chart it doesn't look good. It looks like that we are breaking back into it, come all the way back down to like $13.34. which is a 2% move to the downside before we get here a major bounce again. This can of course change here once again once Powell has done his speech, and we could just get like a crazy candle to the upside. So, but we need to be prepared for both scenarios here, and that's what I'm doing. So if we come down here to $13.34, I would add to my position, or if you are not having a position, that would be also your entry for that trading setup overall, because again, the daily chart on most altcoins is ready to rip here back to the upside. We just need a little bit more patience, and of course, a really soft approach of Powell today when it comes to the rate cuts, and basically confirming that we are next month at least getting one. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a quick one. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with more money tomorrow.